Once upon a time, in distant lands nestled between mountains, there was a village by a crystal-clear blue lake. Everything in this village was colorful and full of life. In the mornings, birds sang sweet songs, and flowers filled the air with their pleasant scent. But the most anticipated day in the village was the day of the great canoe race. On that day, the lakeside turned into a festive area, and everyone cheered for the competitors with joy. In this village lived a young adventurer named Jack. Every year, as Jack watched the canoe races, he couldn't contain his excitement. "Ah, one day I'll race too," he would say. This year, his dream finally came true, because his father had made him a small, bright red canoe. Jack loved his canoe and started practicing on the lake every day. One day, he even exclaimed, "This canoe flies like the wind." But Jack's best friend, Emily, was feeling a bit sad. She didn't have a canoe of her own, and so she thought she wouldn't be able to race. When Jack saw the sad look on Emily's face, he immediately went over and asked, "Emily, why are you so quiet? Are you upset?" Emily lowered her head and replied, "Jack, I can't enter the race because I don't have a canoe." Jack felt bad for Emily, but then he had a brilliant idea. "Emily, why don't you race with me in my canoe?" he asked. Emily's eyes widened in surprise. "Really? But how will the two of us fit into such a small canoe?" Jack smiled and reassured her. "Don't worry, my canoe is almost magical. We'll fit just fine. I'll paddle, and you can steer us. It'll be way more fun together." Emily was so happy about the idea that she nearly jumped for joy. From that moment on, Jack and Emily practiced on the lake every day. Emily learned how to carefully steer the canoe in the right direction. While Jack paddled with his strong arms, he followed Emily's guidance. Of course, they didn't forget to joke around while practicing. For example, whenever Jack got tired, Emily would splash water at him and shout, "Come on, Jack, don't fall asleep. We're training for the race." Jack would laugh and splash water back at her. For them, practice had become a fun game. Finally, the day of the race arrived. The sky was bright and clear, and the air was fresh. The lakeside was decorated with colorful flags, and the villagers sang and cheered for the racers. Jack and Emily could feel their hearts racing with excitement. Before the race began, the village elder, Grandpa Hugh, came to the racers and said, "Children, remember, winning isn't the most important thing in this race. It's about having fun and creating beautiful memories together. You're all winners already because friendship is the greatest prize." Grandpa Hugh's words put Jack and Emily at ease. Now for them, it wasn't just about winning. It was about sharing this experience together. As the race started, everyone began paddling with all their might, trying to glide across the water as fast as possible. But Jack and Emily weren't in a hurry. Jack pointed out a funny bird flying nearby and said, "Emily, look at that bird. It's flying so funny." Emily laughed and replied, "Yeah, let's speed up and fly like birds too." They both laughed and began paddling with enthusiasm. After a while, Jack's arms grew tired. "Emily, my arms feel like they're made of cotton. Can you paddle a bit stronger?" he asked. Emily giggled and said, "Of course, I'll paddle like lightning." She put all her strength into paddling, and their canoe sped up, sending water splashing everywhere, including onto Emily's face. But she didn't mind one bit. Jack admired Emily's effort and said, "Wow, you're super strong." Emily smiled proudly and replied, "Of course. Together, we can do anything." As the race went on, Jack and Emily fell behind the other racers, but they didn't care. What mattered most to them was having fun together. They enjoyed the beauty of nature, supported each other, and savored every moment of the race. Jack even told Emily funny stories, making her laugh so hard that she nearly toppled into the water. By the end of the race, everyone was exhausted but incredibly happy. Jack and Emily finished behind the other racers, but they didn't mind at all. For them, the greatest victory was the wonderful time they had spent together. When the race ended, Grandpa Hugh came to them and said, "Jack, Emily, you two are an amazing team. By working together, you've achieved something great." Hearing Grandpa Hugh's words made Jack and Emily feel like they were flying with joy. From that day forward, they decided not only to help each other in races, but in everything they did. They realized that working together and having fun was the best thing of all. The entire village admired Jack and Emily's friendship. Their tale of the joyful canoe race became an example for all the children in the village, teaching them the importance of teamwork and having fun. And so, for many years, the Great Canoe Race remained the villagers' favorite event, celebrated with excitement. Jack and Emily continued to participate each year, strengthening their friendship with each race. And please don't forget to subscribe and like our videos.